I help athletes prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially for a life of overseas basketball, man. Glad to have you guys back here on the network. Let me get my camera straight real quick. Man, if today we're going to be going over how to look for brands. We are brand hunting brands, man. We're trying to get paid on brands because we're trying to get this money. You got to understand, you are the brand. As overseas basketball, pardon me, as overseas basketball players, you are the brand. You are the one that, I love to say this all the time, you are a walking billboard. Your good looks, your stature, your physical stature, you are the brand, and it is up to you to take full advantage of that. And there is a world where people are willing to work and partner with you only if we are willing to do the work. So, in this portion of this live today, we're going to be going over just some concepts and mindsets and things that I am doing to look for brands. I am right now in the process of looking for brands because I watched a clip on EYL Network, Earn Your Leisure. They're a financial literacy podcast or network. They have the Market Mondays where I watch information about stocks, where I watch information about, just business ownership. They have a lot of different people they bring on with just different aspects of the financial world, and just so you can learn and grow. Because, as I've said before, it's all about increasing your wealth consciousness. And how do you do that? You must be always consuming and learning and just taking the information about just building wealth. And today I'm going to be talking about the process that I'm in right now when it comes to contacting brands. I don't have any brands currently at the moment, but that is going to change because we're going to do the work. We're going to do the work. And one of the episodes that I was watching, it was about one guy who was a big time social media marketing. He worked for a big time social media marketing agency. And you know how you listen to something and you watch something and all you need is just one nugget, one piece of information that can change everything or make you, something clicks that you say, okay, I need to start implementing this. And I think sometimes we think that as athletes, we believe that the brands, just like in college or in high school or even becoming a pro, you think that they will come and find you. No, you must go out and you must go seeking teams, agents, situations, whatever you want. You have to go put the work in for yourself. In my book, Success Must Have Traits to Become an Overseas Basketball Player, I talk about that. How you must go out, how you must work on your communication skill, how you must work on your networking skills, and being in environments and places that allows you to promote yourself and promote what you have to offer, because no one will do it for you. And I thought, just thinking back on this information, also remember listening to another podcast of Million Dollar Gang, Wallow. He was on another business podcast and he was talking about the same thing. He was talking about how Gilly, if you're familiar with $1 million worth of game, he was talking about how Gilly was getting on to him like, yo, it's time for you to go out there and work. He's like, go do what you do best. And what he did best was go out and reach out to brands and sell packages and say, I got these sponsorship packages. We got the podcast. We on you want to hold a slot? We offer this package and that package. He goes out and he gets the money by going out and presenting what they have to offer. They have a platform. They have a brand. They have something they have to offer. They have these downloads. They have their network or however their structure is. I believe one time I heard that they had signed a deal for like 20 million. They blew up pretty fast. But the whole core concept of what he was talking about, as I reiterate and I rethink back, was, he went out and promoted himself and what he had to offer. And it doesn't hurt. It does nothing. The only thing it does is bruise the ego. What do I mean by that? I mean, the only thing that stops athletes and stops people from going out and putting themselves out there is our own ego. Our own ego is what sets us back because we fear the rejection of saying no, of hearing no, or what if they don't respond to us, and how do I still talk to them, or how do I reach out to them, or what do I say, or what do I do? And that is a big part of it. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it and say the emotional side of it does not play a part. And I think that sometimes it's something that we don't talk about or is made as a reference of importance is it is the emotional side of what athletes or people think about when you are outreaching or going out and contacting. There, I don't want to get too far off subject because there's a lot that I'm talking about all in one. And for me, first, reaching out to brands, the social media marketer, what he said was, brands are not just, they're waiting for you to come find them. They don't know who you are. You must do the work to go out there and contact them. That's the process I'm in right now. That is a part of the wealth building journey. I find myself, I talk a lot about money management and things like that, and I find myself in a position with my finances that I don't want to be in. Even till this day, I'm just being real and being transparent. Even after all these years of being in a good place and good situation, things do happen and you do get set back. That's why you have to always go back to the game plan. Go back and look and see where we went wrong. It's like reviewing the film. Where did we go wrong? What happened? What do I need to change? What do I need to adjust to further along and get back on track? Get back to winning. Get back to building and getting to the place where we're at. And I found myself within, I think, believe this year, just not being in the financial place that I want to be. As far as I normally have money stacked up to take advantage, or I would say is, or what I'm trying to say is, for me, I invest a lot into the stock market. I did a video on the greatest wealth building tool, which is the stock market. And a lot of times that comes with being ready for when the opportunity presents itself, which is having cash on hand when the time is ready, and having money ready to invest when the time comes. And a lot of times you're not going to be able to have time, or you're not going to have money ready if you don't plan accordingly for that. And there was like right now, the market was doing some things. It's down right now, and I want to invest. And I'm like, I don't have the resources that I want because I got hit with a lot of stuff at one time. Christmas, bills, all came crashing down at one time, and it kind of put me in a position that I didn't want to be in. That I had to sell off some of my out of my options. I would never sell. I never sell my shares, my long term portfolio. That's untouchable. Told myself I'm never touching that account and selling unless I reach 10, 15 years, 30 years. I'm holding. I'm here for the long term. I'm holding. Hold the fort. Hold it down. Hold it down. But my options portfolio, because sometimes you got to plan for setbacks. And in those setbacks, you want to have a buffer. And I got overzealous, believing I'm good because I know how to make money. I know this, but just things happen along the way. And I didn't have my buffer to the point that where I wanted it to be. So I have to go back, reassess the game plan. Okay, I was able to get to this certain mark because I made sure I had that buffer in place. And we take certain parts out of what would I say? We disregard certain parts of the plan thinking we can do it without it. Part of your financial house, part of building up a financial house is you can't, if you don't have the base taken care of, your house will slowly crumble apart. So your base must be strong, and a part of that base is having those reserves ready for whenever life throws its punches at you. You know, when life throws its punches at you, you have that money sitting there, acquired, ready for whatever. In the middle of probate with lawyers, they're hitting me with bills after bills after bills. Then I went home for Christmas. And then my stock portfolio didn't, some trades didn't go right. So took some L's there. And then it's like, man, now I see an opportunity to invest. February and August are normally really great times to invest. Not having the money ready to invest because didn't have my buffer set to the where I wanted to, so I couldn't really make money on my options, so I had to sell it. It's just a lot of things. And that's how life is. But if you plan accordingly, you go back and reassess the game plan, you say, okay, and I'm not putting myself above anybody. I'm showing you in real time, like, hey, even the guy who's trying to tell you why these things are important also still go through that, because I am the first person building wealth myself in the process of changing my family's trajectory and understanding, hey, I must have these things in order. I must have these things in place, because if not, I too will fall victim to these same things. And so now I'm like, okay, let's take a step back in order to go forward. What do I need to do? All right. In order to not touch my options portfolio, I need to have, for me, my buffer is 10K. I need to stack 10K. 10K is whenever life just comes around. Something happened with the car. I have the lawyers just hit me with a random bill, and I'm trying to speed up the process. What I got to pay? I got to pay my business. I got to pay for my business. Tax season is here. I got to pay off some taxes that were higher than expected. Things like this. And for me, 10K will keep me in check. Oh, so I don't have to touch my money making situations. Because I never want to tap into my long-term savings. I'm not touching that. That's untouchable. But then I had to tap into my options portfolio, and that was my money making vehicle. To make extra cash when I needed to make something or whatever. And sometimes, like, the way I trade options is swing trades, which means they last longer. You have to let things play out sometimes. Sometimes that takes a couple months, and you don't want to tap into that, because the minute you tap into it, you're going to have to start all over. So I'm like, why did I have to do that? Reassess. Go look at the film. It's because you didn't have that buffer to take care of when life come throwing things at you. When life comes throwing things, a lawyer comes at you, you have to pay now. Taxes roll around. You got to pay taxes on a lot of things because I'm investing in things. So now I gotta pay taxes on those, and then the business license needs to be renewed, and just a variety of things that can happen at one time. I have a daughter, so anything can happen where I might have to just take an unexpected trip. You want to have that thing ready. You want to have that money and stuff ready that it doesn't touch your other money making vehicles. It's vitally important to have those things ready and on a whim, like ready for when these things happen. So today, a part of building wealth and to building that buffer up is contacting brands. And for me, I have the platform. We're on the platform right now, and always going to the handy dandy ChatGPT. ChatGPT is your business mentor. It has been my therapist. It has been my trading coach. Use the tools ready and available to you to get ahead. These things are important. It's time to start applying these things, And when seeking out brands, people think brand deals are about followers. But the real battle is discipline. When life happens, when you're, especially for athletes, because we're, if you're, thank God I'm in Uruguay and I don't have to travel as much. I don't have to travel at all. I come home every single night. But in Argentina, we have 18-hour bus rides, 20 hour, just 15-hour bus rides, 10 game, 6 game road trips. You're moving. So mentally, your mind can just wander and you're too tired and you're mentally drained. You're handling, I have kids, I have baby mama, you know, you just have things that steal your focus. They steal your focus. Momentum gets killed by these small interruptions, these life interruptions, and so you don't always go and do the things necessary to reach out to brands, like, doing the emails and the follow-up and doing content. Look, even being in Uruguay and I don't have to travel as much, doing content every single day and staying consistent doing content every single day, even though I've been doing it now for 4 years, it does get tiresome. The mental capital, the mental capital is where it eats away at you. Games, dealing with teammates, families, the low money, all these things stress you out and they drain your mental capital. Sometimes then self-doubt comes in. Man, am I wasting my time doing this? Some people might be thinking I have to do everything perfect and right at the first time, do everything right, or then I'm not going to get acknowledged by these brands. And like I say, and then ego kicks in. The ego of, what if they don't hit me back? What if they don't, they say no, or no one responds to me? So what? Keep going. Keep doing it. And there's a great book, I'm always referencing books, The War of Art. This book called The War of Art, it speaks solely on, I know I've spoken about this book before, but it gave a great example of how we know we should do something. And it's like the fight against ourselves to do the things that we need to do to propel us forward, whatever that may be. And the guy who wrote the book was talking about the book that he was writing. He wrote a book for, like, I'm paraphrasing, don't remember it exactly, but I know it was like over a year. He wrote the book for over a year and then threw the book away because of all these things. Self-doubt. What if they don't like it? What if it's not as perfectly written as I want it to be written? All of these things is an internal thing that we all have in us that keeps us from pushing forward. It's an internal battle that cannot be denied. That has to be acknowledged, but it only can be acknowledged through the habits and plan that we have set for ourselves. One of the things I've said that I wanted to do was reach out to 5 brands. I reached out to one, and I reached out to maybe 2, 3 people out there. So I at least started. But the only reason I was even able to do that is because of the plan that I have. I have my to-do list. My to-do list is what keeps me in line. I keep it on the front of my screen of things that I must get done. GSD, get stuff done. If you curse, get ish done list. It's a list that you have that you need to get stuff done. And for me, what has been very, very detrimental or very, very key component of my life is writing and scheduling things down to do them. Because when you write and schedule them down and you're able to physically see them with your eyes and know, oh, this is something I need to get done, it's going to trigger that sense in your brain, hey, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. And a lot of times it does not happen right away. You're bogged down by life situations and things. And sometimes you've drained your mental capital for the day, for the week, and you have a rough we can practice. So you're just going through life, life be life, and you just don't get it done. And then honestly, if you don't have it written down or you don't have it front and present in your face at the time, you can could easily forget about it. And something can happen and you never get to it. 5 months, 6 months, 2 years pass by. Yes, 2 years pass by and you don't even get stuff done. You don't even realize that you haven't gotten what you said that you wanted to get done because you don't have it written down. That is a key component to getting stuff done. Write it down, put it down, put it in front of you, put it on your screen right in front of you. On my phone, it's its own widget immediately. As soon as I click it, it goes straight to the things I need to get done. If it's getting a podcast done, if it's editing podcast, I write down, hey, edit this part. Oh, dang, that's right. I do need to edit this podcast. Because once your mental capital is drained, you're not trying to do nothing. You're not trying to do nothing. So for me, my milestone is to reach $5,000 a month in brand sponsorships and how I'm building my roadmap. So the core angle to this is you're not chasing the money, you're trying to build a system. You're building a system. And sponsorship makes sense for athletes because your lifestyle is already content. Why choosing this route? The simple breakdown. It's income without needing a job. It builds your brand while you play. It turns your lifestyle into an asset. It can grow into long-term partnerships. And it gives you leverage after basketball. We're trying to build now. You're only going to be more. The biggest stage you have is the one that you're playing on. People are going to admire you more. People are going to be wanting to work with you more. People are going to be willing to give you like just a better opportunity and chance when you're in the game. My business mentor told me that. I just heard another podcast of another guy who was extremely wealthy, and he was an athlete. He was like, I'm tired of having teams hold like contracts and stuff over me, being late with contracts, being, lowballing me on gigs, gap years of waiting and just having basketball be the only income that I have. These things hang over your head and they put stress on you and things like that. So when you go out and you build your platform, you use your likeness, you're your own NIL, like your name, image, and likeness. And we're not once you become pro, you're not on the college stage because you got to think about it. Social media in the world has a great way of showing the people who are out in front. But if you want to take this game, once you go out into the next level of your life and you start going out on your own and being a pro, you are your own brand and you must learn to navigate that yourself. You have to do the outreach. You have to do that. You have to build that. And you have to be the one who put the work in and contact these brands and understand how to do that, because if not, you're going to be trying to figure out, what do I do next? Go be a coach, go be a trainer, go work at a college. Not saying those things are bad, but it's the same thing I hear every single time. I just talked to another young athlete yesterday. And everybody's going back to be a trainer. Everybody's going. My lane is a social media lane, contacting brands, using my name and likeness myself, because no one's going to promote yourself. Just like when you're trying to get a contract, nobody's going to promote you to go get a contract like you are going to do it. Contacting, posting your highlights, posting your clips, using social media the correct way to grow and get jobs. And then when you get a job, use your time there. I know it's kind of cringe to post when you've lost in teams and stuff. It's a real thing. It's a real thing to lose a game and go posting on social media your highlights. It feels cringe. I know because I've been doing it for years. Like I've been in the social media game for like 4 years now. And I know that's how it is. To keep it a buck on this team, like sometimes you run into coaches and situations where they judge you on what you're doing off the court. But you know what? To hell with them. They don't get to live your life, and they're not going to build your brand. People will try to put you inside of a bucket and in a situation that they are in to make themselves feel good because you are trying to do something outside of yourself to better yourself. Guess what? If you don't go and post your highlights and post yourself and post what you need to do to build wealth for yourself, how can you ever get seen out there? Content is the new currency. Content is a big, huge thing. It is currency. Use it. Use your social media. Build your brand. Start, do the outreach. Do these things. So what? A season ain't forever. A situation with one team ain't forever. Just because they might feel some type of way about it, like I said, bro, the hell with them. Because at the end of the day, they're not gonna be paying your lifestyle when you're done playing basketball. And hell, what if they cut you right away just because they don't like one thing you do? So you ain't even got to deal with them anymore, anyways. When the season's over with, you ain't got to deal with them no more, anyways. But outside pressures and outside situations that try to come on you to try to make you feel like what you're doing is not what is beneficial for you. What you do, no one is going to take your financial future. No one is going to build you up. No one is going to promote you more than you can. More than you can. So don't let anybody deter you from building your brand, building up your life. You understand? So here's a roadmap, an easy roadmap to 5K a month in sponsorship. Step 1, build a clean brand package. Whatever it is that you want to do, optimize your social media in your bio, whatever niche you're in, whatever message you're trying to produce, your audience, overseas hooper, whatever. Like if you go watch the episode I did with Frank Hassel, he was like, whatever you are as an athlete, be that. If you're the athlete that stretches, be the overseas stretching hooper. If you're the athlete that promotes healthy living, be the overseas athlete that promotes that. That's your niche. Find your whatever. If you're the overseas athlete that streams, be that, but promote that. Put it in your bio, put it in your messaging. This is who I am. Tell the world exactly who I am. I am the athlete, wealth educator. I help athletes build wealth. That's what I do. You go look at my Instagram bio, that's what I do. You go look inside my bio on my page for my network, that's what I say. I help overseas basketball players build wealth. This is one way I help them build wealth, So optimize your page and your messaging. Get you an email template, get you a media kit, and a lot of these things can be done so simply by just putting it in ChatGPT. You don't have to manually do these things. Use the resources you have. If you got a Galaxy phone, I know everybody's an iPhone, and y'all guys are not woke, and you guys are, slaves to iPhone. I have Samsung. Gemini is free. It's another AI software. It's very good and it's free. You just put this in there and it will make it for you. They'll tell you how much to offer brands and tell them this is what I offer. This is the package I can give you. This is what I can do. So you ain't got to do it. It does the heavy lifting for you. It'll tell you what to say, what to write, what to contact, who to look for. It's just you got to just take 30 minutes out of your day to do it. It'll even give you a planner on, okay, this is the plan that this is the planner that you need to do. Okay, on this date, contact this brand, this brand, this brand. Okay, when you contact this brand, first write them on LinkedIn. If you want to optimize your LinkedIn, put this, put this, put this. You know what I did for my LinkedIn page? I say, okay, how should I contact these brands first? Should I go email first? Should I go Instagram first? Or should I go LinkedIn first? Or do all of them at the same time? Notice that? Good question. No. Go to your LinkedIn, do the LinkedIn first. No response, then go to them on email. Send them this message. If you get a response, do it like this. Okay, I took a screenshot of my LinkedIn. Is this good enough for brands? No, this is what you need to do. Change this, change this, change this, change this. Put a picture of this here as your profile picture. Put this as your banner. Put this as a feature. Put this as a feature. Put this as a feature. Upload this. Upload this. Up. Step by step by step by step. And you're further along the game. You're further along the game. Step 2, start small. Don't chase Nike first. Target brands that actually sponsor creators. Brands are like with basketball gear. Like I said, my first one I contacted was Moten. You know, recovery tools, nutrition supplements, training programs, apps, financial brands, which is my lane. Robinhood, I'm gonna be contacting Robinhood, Webull. These are all in my lane because I talk about finance. I'm talking to you about building wealth. I invest in stocks. I use Robinhood. So if I'm in telling athletes how to get started in stock market, and I have a big lane of overseas athletes who don't know nothing and don't know where to start, I think it would be very beneficial to reach out to a brand like Robinhood and say, hey, I talk to athletes every single day who has absolutely no idea of where to start. And I will promote your brand on this is where they should start. Step 3, daily outreach. Like I said, go to ChatGPT and tell them, give you a planner. Your goal, 5 to 10 brand contacts per day. That's if you really are on your stuff. Like, remember, I say write it down so you can understand it's going to be a process. I'm being realistic. I run the podcast, I'm editing, I'm playing, I got a game tomorrow. You know, I'm always watching the markets. I'm building all this stuff piece by piece, trying to not get overwhelmed, but also trying to work. That's why having a planner is so important. That's why having that to-do list is so important to keep me organized. Having it there so I can make sure I always get to it. So I know I will get to it because it's right in front of my face. You know, you want to work. You have to put in the necessary work, you know. You might not have a podcast, you might just have your social media. Okay. I'm building out a network. I have more things that I need to do. I'm a trader and an investor, so I'm constantly in the markets and in the charts. I have to work out my system. I'm working out my plan. I'm working out, my strategy. So sometimes that takes my time. If I don't have something scheduled and realize, hey, I need to contact brands and I don't have that written down, then I'm not going to get to it. My mind's scattered in a million different places at a million different times, and you have to organize yourself. I go look at my GSD list, get stuff done list. Oh, right, I got to contact 5 brands today. I go to my planner. Who am I need to contact today? Okay, let me go on LinkedIn. Let me go look. I'm going to spend for today, set 1 hour, contact these 5 brands, contact these 3 people from this brand. Boom, that's it for the day. Step 4, build proof of content. Post consistently, so brands see you show up. You're professional and you're safe to work with. I've been doing this social media stuff for 4 years. One thing that I'm very good at, I'm good at posting a lot. I post a lot because I want it. I want to change my situation. I want to build wealth, and part of it is posting. You will be very, very surprised how hard it is to post consistently. How people, because the editing process is a beast. I paid a guy $140 a month to edit my podcast clips, just the podcast clips. Just do a couple little edits, 3 or 4 podcast clips a week, and whenever I have a game, edit my games and post it. He ran off on me. He worked for 2 months and ran off on me. Took the last pay and I never heard from him again. Because it's a beast. He don't want it bad enough. It don't mean enough to him. It's too much work for him. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your situation to change? How bad do you want to build wealth? There has to be a fire and a desire to build wealth, and it's not going to happen. It has to be a desire to say, you know what, even though I'm tired, even though it's annoying, even though I don't want to, I'm going to do the necessary steps it takes to build wealth. And if that is contacting 15 brands a week by just sending a copy paste email or a copy paste LinkedIn message and taking 30 minutes to do a bio, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Nobody's going to want this life for you more than you do. Nobody's going to work hard on this as much as you do. Step 5, stack deals like contracts. Example, to get to a 5K mark, you can get 5 brands that pay you $1,000 a month. 10 brands that could pay you $500, or 20 brands to get you $250. Me personally, I wouldn't do 20 brands. My sweet spot, I'm trying to go between 5 to 10. If I got 10 brands, honestly, 5 brands, keeping it simple because I have a whole bunch of other things. I'm going for the big dogs. I'm going, whatever fits you. Imagine you got 2 brands. 1 brand a month that brings you in an extra $1,000 a month. Add that to your contract just for you being and doing what you already do. 1 brand, 2 brands a month that pays you $500 a month. Every brand has a budget for this. They have a marketing budget. They have a branding budget to reach out to people to promote their brands. They want young and up and coming people. What is more beneficial for them to catch somebody in their younger beginning stage than it is to catch someone who's already super established and build that relationship with them, because it's cheaper for them. And you're tapping into a market that they can't do themselves. You're doing that work for them. You want to get contacted and worked with and be the person that they work with before you become whoever. And you don't even have to become some big, it's just you're reaching a group of people that they're not able to reach. And it's all beneficial for everybody. Everybody wins in this process. But you must do the work. And you can't be afraid to do the work. So that's my where I'm at in my process for building brands. We're out here brand hunting. We're going to be contacting brands to build wealth, stacking, investing, one step along the road, one step along the journey. It is a process. So don't beat yourself up. You just have to have a system. Build your system out. Build your system out. This is a part of my system. I want to share with you guys today. This is the mindset that goes into this system. This is just the things this is where I'm at. And these are the things, if you want to implement in your wealth building, whatever you can use, whatever it helps. Remember, guys, hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for when I drop these type of videos that can help you. Share it with somebody. And remember, most importantly, greatness is a habit, not a right. Catch you guys next time.